So, we have all gotten the chance to play Secret of the Mimic, and today I wanted to talk about the main antagonist of the game and the character that Steelwool has been building up hype for the last few years. Before the release of SOTM, I was very skeptical about the Mimic as a villain going forward. His books were okay, but at the time it felt weird trying to take a character from the books and make it canon to the games. And I remember a lot of FNAF fans weren't really happy at the time and didn't really like or care about the Mimic. However, when Ruin came out, the way they presented the Mimic in that game and to the world was actually pretty terrifying and cool. His role in FNAF Ruin made me care more about his character and more interested in him. I wanted to see how they were going to make him a good FNAF villain. So then we all waited for Secret of the Mimic, and I'm happy to say that Steelwool completely and absolutely cooked, and they sold me on this character. For starters, the way they changed and tweaked his lore to fit in the games was actually really great. Introducing us to Fiona and Edwin and making us care about them because of how crucial they are to Fazbear Entertainment's past was genius. It immediately makes me interested. Getting to the Mimic himself, I think he's genuinely terrifying. He does a great job of never making you feel safe within the MCM facility, because he can wear any costume and swap between them at any time. And don't even get me started on the fact that he is always on your ass, like Mr. X from Resident Evil. His voice lines are also unsettling and make me question if he is close by or not. Since he is the Mimic, he obviously mimics everything he sees. But when he starts mimicking David's voice as he's hunting us down, it's genuinely creepy.
Why won't you play with me? Stop! You're not him! You're not! Stop sounding like him! Stop! You're not him! You're not! Stop sounding like him! Daddy's busy, buddy. Why don't you go outside and play?
Also, actually getting to see the dead bodies around the facility was both creepy and awesome. I'm glad we finally got a FNAF game that isn't afraid to show the more grim parts of this franchise. And in my opinion, it makes the Mimic more scary seeing what it can actually do to people. Okay, but getting to the actual story of the Mimic, I like the way they adapted Edwin, obviously showing violence to the Mimic, and that being the catalyst for its evil. I think they adapted that very well into the game itself. I also really enjoyed getting to see the relationship between Fiona and Edwin, the build-up between, him losing his wife, which was something that wasn't even in the books, and then only after losing his wife, he loses David. So, yeah, Edwin in the games has been through quite a lot. But the actual secret of the Mimic was actually really interesting and very depressing. It's revealed that Edwin obviously lost his wife in Fall Fest, and after that happened, he made the original Mimic 1 program and, the first Mimic endoskeleton. And that's when it begins mimicking his wife. And instead of being put off by this, he embraces it, and it basically becomes a replacement for Fiona. And because of that, the Mimic also somewhat becomes the mother of David for a little bit, which is just very sad. He's not able to move on, he's filled with grief, so now he's just letting this machine take on the role of his wife, and he's beginning to fall in love with it all over again. It's very heartbreaking stuff, and it comes out of nowhere. Like, I was not expecting this twist. And then once David passes, he's hit with even more grief, and the Mimic One suggests that we make a second Mimic bot for David himself. Now, whenever this happens, we already know he does not like this, he thinks it's not his son, and he lashes out on it, hence giving us the Mimic as the villain as we know him today. We also get some more details about Edwin, and I believe that he eventually just takes the Mimic 1 program out of M1 and puts it in this giant computer and isolates himself from, his fake robot wife. We also have an audio recording of Edwin and M2, and it's kind of left unclear if Edwin dies or not. I don't think he's dead, but it's very strange because he is definitely injured, and we already know M2 did it because, oh, you taught me violence, now I'm gonna do it to you. So Edwin's fate is kind of left ambiguous. Honestly, you could write a video on Edwin and Fiona alone. They are such well-written characters. Overall, I think the Mimic is a fantastic villain. He seemed more like a monster of the week at the start, but after playing SOTM, I think he's great. However, I do not want him to be the main villain for the franchise going forward. I would like to see him in another game or a DLC or something like that, but I think this character really has like one more game, and then I would like to introduce someone else who maybe can live up to William Afton, because I just don't think the Mimic can fill those shoes. I wanted Vanny to be his successor, but that's a story for another day. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in whatever my next project ends up being.